Hey everyone, welcome back to my Surrender vlog series. I'm really happy to be back. My latest video was really successful. Thank you all for watching that, and just by successful I mean it seemed like it touched a lot of people, and I'm glad that I shared some of my personal experiences because it has definitely helped some of you, and that is the purpose of this series, is to help people. And a lot of people have said to me, I really admire how you share all of your personal experiences so candidly and so freely, and to that I would just say, this is why I'm here. It's not always comfortable for me to do so, but it is something that I feel is really important, because this path that I'm walking is uniquely me, and I haven't found very many people my age that I can talk to about these things, and so I chose to be a guide because I don't know what else to do. It's been really lonely. It's been really lonely my whole life, and I don't mean that in a pity me way. It's it's been really beautiful, but I certainly want to help build a community where we can talk about these pathways of human consciousness and conditioning, and ways to build our own personal enlightenment. And I think it starts by having these kinds of conversations and opening it up to all ages and backgrounds, and so here I am, continuing my journey of the dark night of the soul. Thank you all for watching my last video. I got a lot of feedback from people saying that they have experienced similar passageways. I'm currently reading The Dark Night of the Soul by St. John of the Cross, and I'm just working through it very slowly and carefully, but I think we really do need sacred texts to help us move through these things, because like I said, it's really special, it's really sacred, and it's very unique, and I don't find this kind of conversation very of course it is frequently walked, but it's not frequently shared about in the depth of what it really is. But in these sacred texts we can really find a lot on this subject, and all of the greatest saints, as I said in my last vlog, have had to walk this walk. And to me what this really signifies is coming into our enlightenment. What is enlightenment? I think it's breaking down the constructs of who we think we were, who we imagined ourselves to be as human beings, as our own personal potential, and breaking free of all of that which is ego-based, and coming into our true essence. That's super vague, but it really is that. I had so many ideas of who I thought I was going to be, and back in February, I don't know if I shared this in my last vlog, but I really had a wiping clean slate kind of experience, and it's continued since then. And the depth of this experience really has thrown me into all of these dark, deep spaces that I never thought was possible. And some of this has included a Kundalini awakening. Some of this has included, that's the one that I can put a label on, but I really want to share some of the more complex, detailed explanations of my experiences, which may be helpful to some of you. As I said, the physical challenges have been an issue for me. Weird, besides the migraines, just weird symptoms of ungroundedness and kind of being thrown into different experiences of, how do I explain it? Sometimes feeling a bit detached, like the filter of the world changes, and sometimes I will go into past memories in this life that need to be cleared, or things from other lifetimes that need to be cleared. This happens both in my waking state and in my sleeping state. So it's kind of like your whole system, your whole body, your whole spirit is working 24/7 to reboot you and move you into a new paradigm within yourself. And so one of my biggest purposes, intentions for my life is that I can sort of deconstruct my karmas, or whatever word you want to call it, my shortcomings, my challenges, my fears, my anxieties, so that I can really be here fully present in this world as a guide, as a Qigong master, as a humble person, a true spiritual teacher to myself. And it's not about ego anymore. It's not about having some kind of identity, having some kind of outside appearance, external look. It's not about that anymore. And once I saw that, all of this really came to the surface in a much deeper way. So the out-of-body stuff, the dark experiences, the Kundalini Kriyas, and I briefly said that in my last vlog. This is something that I've heard many people have. I know that some of that has to do with all of the chanting that I do, and some of it has to do with probably the Kundalini yoga that I was doing in high school frequently. But I was having snake dreams for months and months, and I knew what it was. I just didn't really have any experiences in my waking life to validate that. But a couple months ago I started having the Kriyas, and basically what that is the Kundalini is depicted as a snake energy that rests at the base of the spine. If somebody's coming, then I'll have to move. That rests at the base of the spine. I guess I will move just to make sure. And so when it awakes from the base of the spine, it snakes up the spine, and there's often an energy that comes with that, a shaking energy that comes with that. So let's just say it came full force in me, and my body would shake like having a seizure. It started by moving like 3 hours a day. It was very, very intense for me. And when I would go into those phases, my visual, my spiritual, my body, my whole, everything that I know to be me would basically shut down and go into a different experience, and would go into all the fears that I have, all of the resistance that I have. And it's like, best way that I can describe it is, you know, like putting on a pair of sunglasses in the house. Everything looks different. That's what was happening to me. And that's what really made me feel the dark night very, very strongly. It was the physical, energetic, all of those experiences that were happening, and I could not control it. So I realized you can't control something that is trying to move through, especially with such force. And I began to think, this is really, nobody can help me here. Nobody can really aid me here. And that was very disconcerting, because here I have many people around me that want to assist me, want to help me, want to make me feel safe, and I realize it's in me, and I really have to work to allow it. So for probably 3 weeks, I would shake for, 1 to 3 hours a day. And I asked myself, okay, so what's in here that I really need to see? And I realized, don't resist it. You're not going crazy. This is just a process. And it's about releasing those things so that you can get to the next level, so that you can ascend. And St. John of the Cross says this in the Dark Night of the Soul text as well. He says that something about, this is his way of giving you a higher grade, which to me just means a higher consciousness is coming through and you must go through it. And part of this position is about feeling alone, so that you lose all of your constructs about, this is me, this is my journey, this is me, trying to become more enlightened, this is me trying to look a certain way, or trying to act a certain way, or trying to have a certain position. And this wipes that clean, because you have to bow down to your knees and you have to say, I have nothing left. And that is really just, I can't explain to you how earth-shaking that is. So once I did that, the kriyas did get less. And then it kind of shifted to moving into that within the dream state. So it wasn't happening in my waking life. Now, when this was happening in my waking life, I tell you, when I would go into these things, sometimes I would start bawling, sometimes I would start going into intense fear, sometimes I'd feel so ungrounded that I couldn't feel my legs. I would crawl on the floor to move around just to feel my legs and arms move. This was all teaching me about my attachment to my body, and that my feeling of okayness was attached to my body and my consciousness and my need for control. So these dark nights show you where you need to release, where you need to surrender. Once I said, okay, we're letting it happen, we're not going to die, it decreased, and it started happening in the dream world, where after that I would process during the dream world, wake up, have a pretty normal day, pretty unaffected, but very aware that the processing was still happening. So that was interesting. I'm still there a little bit, and I definitely dip in and out of these experiences frequently. Even last week, I was going about my day, and all of a sudden, boom, I was back in my kindergarten body, my 5-year-old little body, back in the kindergarten room, reprocessing everything of that day. And just so incredible that, that this is happening in such a spontaneous way, and that I'm not forcing any of this. I'm just allowing. I've had an intention and I'm allowing, and I'm really trying to be a humble servant to myself, and I think I am. I mean, I don't take anything for granted anymore. No part of my day is planned. I don't know how to do that anymore. And I'm really feeling that through this passage I'm going to be able to really move mountains in a way that I haven't yet. And this is a deeper layer of awareness, consciousness, and it's a deeper passage for me to be able to better serve people. Most of all, it's about my freedom, though, and my goals. And as I said, what's really, really important when you are in these phases is to keep your eye very, very strongly set on what your goal is for your life. I said this in my last vlog. Because you will be put in so much fear and so much denial and feeling crazy and feeling like none of this is really for a purpose at moments. No matter how clear you are about who you are, this is what that does to you. And I'm here to tell you, just continue to focus on what your goal is. And you know, Deepak Chopra said something really wise. I watched his video on YouTube about this. He was answering somebody's question, and he said that, you know, ask yourself this question: if you were to suffer with this ailment for the rest of your life, what would your one condition be? So you could say, I need more peace in my life, I need more strength, I need more self-awareness, whatever it is. And I found that to be really freeing. And I think that goes along with what I kind of said about a goal, a life goal. Choosing your path. St. Teresa said the same thing, that you are free of the darkness once you become aware of, you know, what side you're fighting for you, for your own growth, for your own soul evolution. Be really, really clear about that. You're not bowing down to darkness when you say, I surrender. You're allowing whatever within you to come up. You're not being broken. You're getting stronger. But believe me, I didn't believe that even weeks ago. And I'm here to tell you that, you know, you just have to know that when you come to this place of such depth that you literally do not know what to do, this is a really good sign. This is a really, really good sign. And if you're watching this video, you're likely already on a path of inner discovery, and you've already been, you know, doing your work, doing your soul evolution growth for a long time. And so, you know, this won't be news to you, but it is a personal testimony to, you know, something that I'm going through. And this is after many years of really enlightening, beautiful experiences. So I just kind of want to take the labels off and say, you know, here's another beautiful experience, even though it's really dark and even though it feels really shadowy sometimes. This is really important. One thing about these sacred texts that I want to point out, whether it be St. Teresa, St. John of the Cross, any of these things that I'm currently reading right now, they were written a long time ago, so the language is different. And I just want you to think about, if you do read these, you know, there's certain different language barriers there that you need to think about. They can be interpreted many different ways. You know, to me, when we talk about fear, or when we talk about, you know, different traditions call it different things, but, you know, the devil word to me does not resonate with me. I do believe in darkness and light. I do believe in the yin and yang. I do believe that there are forces in this world that bring up different experiences in our human consciousness. And the dark night of the soul is real, as is the very light-filled experiences. So when you're reading those, if you see the word devil, if you see any sort of those things, I want you to tune into the deeper, you know, context and the deeper translation, because really what St. Teresa was saying, I've been hearing little passages from The Interior Castle as my mom is reading it, and you know, she's talking about breaking down our personal soul evolution in the context of our exterior world, our earthly experience. So there's words that have a deeper meaning, and I'm learning to kind of move with that as well, because again, there's certain words that I didn't grow up with that I am naive to, but I really see such depth in these texts, and I want to be able to say that I think it's important for everyone to read these things, especially as they're moving through passages that you're not going to find otherwise on YouTube or from, you know, a lot of modern spiritual teachers. And I'm not dissing anybody, but I am saying that, you know, these passages, such as the one I'm talking about, the dark night of the soul, really requires masters to help show you the way. And that's where I'm focusing my intention right now, so I can better help myself and further help you guys to better understand these things. So it's a lot, and again, I'm just sharing as a journal so that I can help you guys. You know, feel free to add to this conversation. Although I'm not asking for advice as usual, I would love personal stories shared, or anything that, you know, is really helping to better understand this kind of human journey. That's what it is. It's a human journey. We all go through it. We all have to go through it. And this is just my version. So anyways, that's that for now. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And happy almost June. Bye.